Good morning. Okay, we're 153A, 5 lines from the top, and we have a interesting case coming up, which is a little unclear. We'll proceed according to Rashbam. Um, there's a long Rashbam here, but somebody wrote a deed, like a contract, saying that he's giving his property to so and so in life and in death. So what does this mean? Um, so just to summarize the Rashbam, he understands that there is a kinyan here. There is a kinyan. However, because the writer, the owner, specifies in life and in death, he reveals that he's concerned for his life, that he thinks he's a shliv meirah, he's about to die, and therefore, regardless of the kinyan, we're going to treat it as a matnas shliv meirah. So Rav Amar. Harehi Kamana Shlimeira. Rav says, well, that's what the Machlokes says. Rav says it's a shli. This is a gift of a Shlimeira because he specified in some way that he's afraid for his life, that he fears he's about to die. Then this is a shli. What's the difference if it's a matna Shlimeira if there's already a kinyan? Whether you can revoke it if he recovers. Then a matna shlimeira can be revoked, but because the guy can say, "Well, I only gave it to him because I thought I was dying, but it turns out I wasn't dying." And Shmuel Amar, Hare Kamat Naspari. We treat it like a regular gift. There's a contract or a kinyan or whatever, and that's how it is viewed. Rav Amar, Hare Kamat Nashlimira, Midach Baba Mavas. Since he wrote in the document, whether I live or die, clearly he reveals that he's afraid he's going to die. Misa Kamarla. And he's saying Achar Misa Kamarla, and he's also saying that the that the that the gift takes place after he dies, right? That's how the Manas Meira would work here. And that which he wrote in life and whether I live or die. So wouldn't that indicate that, I'm giving to him now, whether I live or whether I die, right? It's from now and it's not revocable. But that's what Rav says. It's like he doesn't. It's like a nine hara, right? Like you don't want to um not nine hara exactly, but you don't want to say things that are negative, right? So you wouldn't write in the document I'm dying, when I die this goes to so and so. You'd say in life and in death as a way of softening the language. Shmuel says it's like a healthy person's gift because he wrote in life or in death, right? So he according to Shmuel, he's revealing that he thinks he may die, he may not die, but he wants the property to go to so and so. So why do you write in life and in death? Like it's a way of saying like from now and forever, as long as I live, this gift lasts for my whole life, right? Meaning, in life and in death. So he's not, according to Shmuel, it's not that he's revealing that he's afraid he's going to die. He's saying it's a permanent gift. Amar Nardai, Hilchak Vasi Rav. In Narda, they said laws like Rav, that it's about Nashchimi Rav. Amar Rav Aviksiva Mechaim Akana. But if Mechaim is written in the document, then Kana, the Kenyan is good. So that's like Rav. Amar Amar Leis Hilchak Vasi Rava. The halacha is not like Rava. Amarle Ravashi Lamemar Pshita. Obvious, Damar Nardai, Hilchak Vasi Rav, because we just read that in Narda they said the Allah is like Rav. Rav is ruling like Shmuel. So like, what are you telling us? It's obvious. So the Tema, because I might have thought Mechaim Mode Rav. That if it says in the document Mechaim, not B'chaim, but Mechaim, from life. So then Rav would agree that it's not a matna shliv meirah, and it takes effect right away. So Kamash one, so Meir says no, it's Mechaim, B'chaim, whatever. How do you also come to Rav Nachman when Narda? Somebody came to Rav Nachman in no a document that was one of these documents came before Rav Nachman in Narda. Shadri l'kamid Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba Mushum Tamya. Um, uh, and Rav Nachman sent it on. He didn't want to. He passed it on to Rabbi Yirmiyah in this place called Shum Tamya. Amar, he said, Hacha Astra de Shmuel. Narda, this is Shmuel's town. Hechenavid Kavasi Derav. Like, uh, even though in the Narda they said Shmuel was wrong. Shmuel, our our teacher, our master here, the Gadol Ador in Narda is wrong. But we can't it would be too much to act that way in Shmuel's presence. So that's why he didn't. He knew what the ruling was going to be against Shmuel, and so he sent it on to somebody else to make the ruling. Somebody came to Rava with one of these documents. Rava Kishmate, and Rava ruled like Shmuel. That was his opinion. Havaka Tardale, so she kept pestering him about it. Amar Leila Rav Papa Dreger of Hanan Safre. So Rava told his sofer, his scribe, Rav Papa ben Rav Hanan, Zilk Sovla, go write her something that she can retract it. Like Ravuk Sov, but writing it Socher Alehen Amatan. You can hire you can hire workers, you can hire other workers, or you can trick the first ones into working for you. So something has nothing to do with anything, right? It's a completely out of context different ruling, right, that we've seen already, but it has nothing to do with the case. So what he's telling him is, write a document for her so she'll stop pestering me that indicates that she wins, that she's right, but write it in such a way that it's obvious that it's not correct, right? That this isn't to be relied upon. In other words, it's nonsense, right? This document is written like nonsense, so it'll satisfy her because it says what she wants. But any judge that rules on it will see this ruling and realize what's going on. Amra, so she read the document, and she figured it out. She said, "Litba arbe atuya matisli." His Litba arbe, let his ship sink. Atuya kamatisli is he thinks he's tricking me, right? So she saw right through his ruse. Amshinu lamane derava b'maya, and so they took some of Rava's clothes and soaked them in water. In other words, hoping to absorb this curse, right? Like they didn't want his actual ships to sink if he had ships. So they figured this will be kind of a fulfillment of that curse and it won't really be damaging to Rava, so they'll deflect the curse. Nonetheless, the curse took effect. His ship sank. I guess he was a ship owner. So the curse did take effect. In other words, Rava acted improperly. He just wanted to get this nudnik woman to stop pestering him, but he was, she wasn't fooled, and he got his comeuppance.
So, and what's the maskana here regarding the
well, clearly the halacha is like Rav, right? That it is a manas shliv meira, and it doesn't take effect till his death. Then he can revoke it if he survives.
And so he's giving away everything now, and that was generally the rule. You have to give away everything. If he retains something, then then it's not. That's what we've been saying all along. He has to give away everything. If he retains something, he doesn't. He's not able to retract that.
That's a good point, actually. So Rashbam apparently sees this as a case where he did not give away everything, so it's another indication that it's not really a manas shliv meira. It seems kind of a weird case, but on the other hand, there's several cases that the Gemara brings where this actually took place. So, I'm not sure what to make of that.
So it's shliv meira, or it's not then.
According to Rav, it is, and that's how we rule. It is a manas shliv meira.
Even though he didn't give away everything?
Yeah, but since he wrote in the document, so what's the whole basis of a manas shliv meira? We want to set the person's mind at ease. He's dying, right? We don't want to upset him and maybe push him over the edge into death. right? If he writes in the document something that may indicate that he's worried about dying and that's why he's doing this, that's the same, theoretically, that's the same, should have the same basis as the same ruling as a Shlib, right? Because it's not just that objectively we know that he's dying. The point is he knows that he's dying, right? He feels that he's dying. And so if the document um, spells that out and says, essentially it's saying I'm dying and I'm giving away my property, so then we treat it as a matnas shlibnei because the same reason we want to set people's minds at ease, so that they don't go ahead and die, or so that we don't push them over the edge, as it were.
But did you say that in this case he's still leaving something over for himself?
Yeah, that's what Rashbam says.
So if that's the case, it sounds like the case from yesterday's daf, the day before, where we have mitzaveh, not mitzaveh machmat mita, right? That's a special case where a person is almost convinced. But so in that case, even though he leaves something over, because or the way he phrases it, that right, and the way he phrases it allows him to retract the property and receive it back. That's the special case within this
Yeah,
that's a mitzaveh machmat mita.
right, and this is similar, right? He reveals that he is worried about dying by writing that in the document. At least that's how Rob reads it.
Hmm. So he's not giving away everything. He's giving away.
Right. Hey, it's normally like some of it he wants to leave for his heirs, but then some of it he wants to reward this person for whatever reason.
But something he retains for himself, or in this case, retained for his.
Well, if he's really worried about dying, why is he retaining it for himself? Could be that he thinks maybe I'll survive, but could be he just wants the rest of his estate to go to his inheritors, to his heirs.
But it will go to them anyway, right? Isn't that the laws of inheritance?
Yeah, but not a matnas shchimera, right? If you give away something, then it's not in the estate anymore.
Right.
Okay. So next Mishnah, lo kasav b'shchiv meira, as opposed to the previous Mishnah, if you wrote this document, but you didn't say I'm dying, right? I'm dying, and so I'm giving this. You just say I'm giving this to, I'm giving away all my property to so and so. So who omer shchiv meira ha'isi? So what happens? You survive, right? And then you want to take it back, right? So you say, you know why I wrote that document? Because I was dying. But the recipient of the gift says, Baria, you said nonsense. You gave us this gift. You're just making excuses now. You weren't dying. You just want to change your mind, but you can't change your mind. You already gave us the gift. So he has to, the giver has to bring a proof that he was ill, that he was dying, that he was, seriously ill, in order to retain the property. The rabbis say, no, who has the property now? It's in the chazaka, it's in the possession of the guy, of the giver, right? He still has it. So if they want to extract it from him, the recipients have to bring the proof that he was a shliv meira, that he was healthy at the time, and his gift is a valid gift. Excuse me. How Senor says, how matnas avokatsu? Well, there was a gift document that was written in it. Kad habakatsir varame bar. Say, I'm writing this while I'm sick and lying in bed. Right, I'm bedridden. Lo kasava umigo mare iptar leve salme. But it doesn't say. Um, so look at Rashbam here. The second last line. This is what they would write in the document after the person died. They would write into the document that he died. להודיע שהנכסים הללו נשואים לזה המקבל בצוואה שכיב מרע. To indicate that that's what happened, that that the guy died from this illness, and therefore the document is valid. Umitoch also choli niftar shlo has been time that he never recovered from the illness that he was that we're concerned with. So what if they didn't write this in the document, right? You get this gift document, and the custom was if the guy dies from that illness, you would write into it that fact, but that was not written into it. So what do we do? Amarabba, hooray, mace, hooray, chalav. Look, the guy died, right? The guy is dead, right? So we can assume that he died from the illness that he was concerned about. That's the proof. His grave is its own proof, as it were. Amalei Abaye, Hashta, is that right? Umasfina Sharuban Leave. What about a case of a boat that most of the passengers on the boat die, like you have a sinking ship and most of the passengers die. But we don't know, like, about any individual if they survived or not. So, we go to Chumrah for all cases. So, if let's see. So yeah, here's some examples. The Gemara, the Mishnah can give some examples. If there's a daughter of a regular woman married to a Kohen, so she can still eat truma, right? If he's alive, but if she thinks he might be dead, she has to stop eating truma. Whereas a daughter of a Kohen who marries a non-Kohen, she has to consider that he might be dead, and therefore she should stop eating truma. So anyway, so cholin sharov cholin l'chaim. Now, what about sick people? If you take sick people as a class, most people recover. Most people, at least most people who make these deathbed bequests. So that's an interesting fact. You would think that people on their deathbed, especially in ancient times, maybe they more often died than not. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying most people recover. Local again. So certainly we should be machmir. And unless, so in other words, if it's not written in the document that the guy died because of this illness, then we should assume that, we shouldn't assume that he did. We should think that maybe he recovered and later died from something else, got hit by a bus. So why are you saying that, because he's dead, we can assume he died from that illness?
And then, what does that refer to? Then what happens with the gift?
Then the gift is invalid unless you have proof, right? But we're not saying that there's witnesses or anything, but we have to assume that the gift is invalid because it was not written in the shtar, as is customary, that he died from this illness. So even though he's dead, right, we can't assume he died from that illness unless it's written in the shtar, as was customary.
They wrote the shtar, but they wrote this in the shtar afterwards.
Yeah,
so that anyone could write. I mean, then anyone could write anything. I mean, unless I guess.
Okay, I mean, maybe it's in the custody of Basin or something. That's a good point. Maybe these documents are filed with the court. I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, the person who wants to gain from this gift, he could be on this panel to write what he wanted to in the shtar, right? I mean, how do you prevent that?
Yeah. So, well, the person wanted to give the gift is dead.
No, the person who wanted to receive the gift.
Oh, yeah.
He could write.
Yeah. So
how do we prevent him from writing what he wants in the shtar so he could get the gift?
That's a good point. So perhaps I think, perhaps this is like a document filed with the court or something like that, or in some third party's hand. Yeah, because your point is a good one. Anyway, so we have a machlokas Abaye and Rabba. Our Ravina Breda Rabbi Yeshua. Kamanaz lo hashmata de Rabba. Now, who follows Rabba, or who does Rabba follow? Whose opinion does it follow? Rabbi Nasa. The Tanya, Rabbi Bryson. Mi motzi miyad mi. Who has to bring the proof? Who motzi miyadan below raya? Does the giver have to take the property back without any proof? But the Vahain and the recipients can't take the property from him without proof. Do Rabbi Yaakov. Rabbi Nasan Omer Imbarihu. if the guy is recovered, if he's now healthy, all of Lavi Raya, he has to bring a proof that he was ill at the time, and that's why, and so it was only a Shliv Meira gift, and he survived, and so he gets it back. Im Shliv Meirahu, but if he's still sick, Alein Lavi Raya Shabari Haya, they have to bring a proof that he was healthy at the time. So what do we see here from Rabbi Nassan? That if you're sick now, we're assuming it's the same sickness from when you wrote the document. So the same would apply to the case where you died. We assume that the death was caused by the sickness that you had when you wrote the document. Okay.
That's
I'm
if he recovers, right? Then he can assume that he still has the property and someone
Yeah.
else has to bring the riot. But if he doesn't recover, then how
Well,
can he? I mean, who's bringing the proof then?
wait. So if you're talking about the case of Abai and Rabbah, or are you talking about the case of Rabbi Nassan?
I mean, Rabbi Natan, what is he? I mean, what is he saying here? That if he's recovers, right, or if he was a bari? I mean, I'm a little confused. Was he bari at the
No,
time?
the question is, if he's a bari now, if he's a bari now, then he has to prove that he was sick at the time that he made the gift. If he's sick now, then he doesn't have to prove it. Then we can assume he was sick from the same sickness that he claims he made that he had when he made the gift.
But if he's still sick now, was the gift in fact transferred, or is he still holding it until he dies?
Um,
So who has to bring a raya then? If the gift only
if
takes effect after he dies, then
what we're saying
he still
is
has it, right?
what we're saying is if he is sick, then that serves as a proof that it was a matna shchit meira, and if he's asking for it back, then he can ask for it back. That's valid to do so. Now you could say, Rabba would say, no, he's sick now. That doesn't prove anything about his state when he made the gift. Maybe he was healthy then, right? And now he's sick, right? But Abaye and Rav Nosson are saying, no, if he's sick now, we can assume that it's the same sickness that he was sick when he made the gift as well.
But he shouldn't have to bring any raya because
Right, exactly.
because
Right.
he's
If
still
there's if somebody
he
they
can
would the
say it can cancel it now. I'm sick. Okay, I'm still sick. I can cancel it now.
yeah, but you can't if you yes, you can say that, but only if it's the same sickness, right? Only if you're still sick. But if you maybe, what they could try to prove is no, you recovered from that. Or in fact, at the time, in this case, in the case of Reb Nassan, we don't even know that he was sick when he made the gift, right? He could have made it when he was healthy. And if there was a star, then it's a valid star. Now he's sick, so he's saying, "Oh, I was sick then," and they're saying, "No, you weren't sick then. Now you're sick, but you made the gift when you were healthy, and so it's a valid gift, right?" And he says, "No, I was sick, and I'm still sick." So Reb Nosson says, "Yes, if he's sick, then we can assume that the gift was like as he claimed that it was this sickness that caused him to give the gift."
And he can recover it. He can retract the gift.
Yeah, that's Rabbi Nosson, and that's followed by
And
Abai.
if he recovers, he was sick and he recovers, he can also retract the gift, right?
Yeah, that would be just a typical case, right?
So when would he not be able to? When would he have to bring a raya that he
No, he
wants
doesn't.
back? He never,
That's from Dustin's point. You don't, and Abaya's point. You don't have to bring a raya.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Amar Balazer. Ulatuma kemachlokas. And we also have the same machlokas regarding tuma. How so? It's not. We have a Mishnah. Bika, you have a valley with field with wheat growing in it. Biyama in the summer, Rishus Hayachid l'Shabbos. It is considered a Rishus Hayachid for Shabbos. Actually, I did not prepare this part, and it looks a little complicated. So, with your permission, we'll pick this up tomorrow, and I'll be able to address it a little better. All right.
All right.
Okay. Have a good day.
Okay.
Pick it up tomorrow.